When I bought my house in Willow Ridge Estates, the last thing I thought would cause a neighborhood meltdown was my garage. I'm not kidding. After 10 years in IT security, I've seen cyberacts, ransomware, insider breaches, actual high-risk situations. But nothing prepared me for the psychological warfare that unfolded the moment I password-protected a simple garage door. I swear, I thought I left insane behavior at my job. But then I met Karen. Karen wasn't just the head of the HOA, she was the self-appointed neighborhood watchdog. Snoop, investigator, gossip queen, and self-proclaimed property compliance specialist. Title she created herself. She wore it like a badge. She walked around the neighborhood like she owned every brick. And she absolutely loved, knowing what was inside everyone's garage. Tools, decorations, storage bins, Christmas lights. She kept mental inventory. She even reminded people when their Halloween boxes were off-season clutter. So when I moved in, she immediately took an interest in me. And especially my garage. The first week, she knocked on my door with her usual enthusiasm, the kind that makes your stomach drop. "Welcome. I'm Karen," she said, already stepping inside uninvited. "Just here for the orientation inspection." "Orientation what?" I asked. She waved me off. "HOA requires a preliminary garage overview." "No, it doesn't," I said. She froze. She clearly didn't expect me to know that. "Well," she said stiffly, "it's strongly encouraged?" "By who?" "By me," she answered proudly. I politely guided her back outside. She wasn't happy, but she didn't push yet. But I could tell she was fixated. Every time I opened my garage to move a box or bring something in, she suddenly appeared from behind a bush, from across the street, or conveniently walking her dog, even though the dog always looked exhausted. She wanted to see inside. Badly. I had nothing weird in there, just workout stuff. Tools, some electronics, boxes from the move, but I wasn't about to reward her nosiness. Then came the day everything shifted. My new garage door system arrived, a smart lock. Keypad entry, app-controlled, fully encrypted. I installed it that afternoon, set up my password, and tested the locking mechanism. And that's when Karen struck. She marched over as if I had committed a federal crime. "What is that?" she demanded, pointing at the keypad. "A lock," I said. "Why would you lock your garage?" "Nobody locks their garage here." "Exactly why I did." She narrowed her eyes. "Garages must be accessible for HOA spot checks." "No, they don't." "Yes, they do," she insisted, slapping her clipboard. "Section 14 BHOA has the right to visually survey storage spaces." "Not without permission," I replied calmly. She sputtered, flipping through papers. "You can't keep secrets in a community." "I'm not keeping secrets," I said. "I'm securing my property." Wrong answer. Karen hated privacy more than she hated mismatched paint colors the following morning. I found her standing in my driveway. Again, she had her hands on her hips and the look of someone who planned to lecture me until the sun went down. "Your garage violates community transparency rules," she said. "There are no transparency rules. Then I'm creating one." I nearly laughed. "You can't just make rules. I can propose them." "And did you?" "I'm proposing now." I walked past her, got in my car, and left for work. Apparently, that made her snap. That evening, I received a text from my security system. Multiple failed garage access attempts detected. My eyes widened. I opened the app. Wrong codes. Wrong combinations. Wrong sequences. For attempts. Then 7. Then 11. Someone was trying to guess the password. Someone named Karen. How did I know? Because the 12th attempt finally triggered the camera on the keypad, and there she was. Karen furiously typing random numbers like she was hacking into the Pentagon, hands shaking, sweat glistening, muttering to herself. I watched the video 3 times just to make sure I wasn't hallucinating. She actually tried to break into my garage. I walked outside right as she was making attempt number 13. "What do you think you're doing?" I asked. She jumped and spun around. "Oh, I I was just making sure your keypad was compliant. You're entering random codes? I'm testing structural integrity of a password? She straightened. HOA must know what you're hiding. I stared at her. You're not entitled to my garage, she gasped, horrified. Everyone's garage is the HOA's business. No, I said firmly. It's my property. Her face twitched with fury. Then I'll call the authorities. For what? You'll see. She stomped away, shaking with rage. I thought she was bluffing. I underestimated her stupidity. At 4:17 p.m. the next day, 2 police cruisers arrived. Lights on, sirens off. Calm, but serious. I walked outside confused, and the officer stepped forward. Sir, are you refusing HOA access to emergency supplies? I blinked. What? We received a report, he continued carefully. You're storing hazardous materials and possibly weapons inside your garage? My jaw literally dropped. From who? I asked, though I already knew. The officer cleared his throat. A woman named Karen. Closed my eyes, trying not to scream into the sky. The officers, to their credit, looked skeptical already. So I explained everything: my job, my security system, her attempts to break in, her obsession with garage inspections. Then I showed them the video. Karen. Typing random codes like a burglar in yoga pants, one officer started laughing. The other bit his lip, trying not to. This is who called? He asked. Yes. This is what she considers suspicious. Yes. And she thinks she's allowed in your garage? Yes. The officer wiped tears from his eyes. Oh, this is going to be good. He walked over to Karen's house with his partner. I followed at a distance. Karen stepped outside dramatically, hands clasped like she was reporting terrorism. Officers. Thank goodness. He's hiding something in his ma'am, the officer said, already chuckling. You need to stop trying to break into your neighbor's garage. Karen froze. Break in? I was inspecting. You have no authority to inspect private property. But the HOA, ma'am, he said. Still laughing. HOA is not law enforcement. She opened her mouth. But he continued. And garage passwords? Not suspicious. Normal. She deflated like a balloon. And another thing, the officer said, smiling. Don't try to guess people's codes. It's weird, she gasped. He showed you that video. Yes, ma'am. That violates my privacy. No, the officer replied. Breaking into someone's garage violates theirs. She tried again. But he might be hiding illegal, ma'am. Stop. The second officer finally cracked and burst into laughter. Karen turned red. Bright red. Cherry red. Fire truck red. She pointed at me dramatically. I'll have you kicked out. Ma'am, the officer said one last time. You're about one complaint away from a harassment charge. Karen went silent. Utterly silent. The neighborhood watched from their windows as her humiliation unfolded, and for the first time, she had nothing to say. The next day, she delivered a note. A very Karen-style note. Your garage situation has escalated beyond my expectations. I will no longer be attempting entry. Please consider being more cooperative. Karen HOA President Cooperative. Right eye taped. The note inside my garage next to the keypad as a trophy, then for fun. I changed the password again and renamed the garage system in the app KEEP_out_Karen. She hasn't tried a code since.